Bella Benito, right?
Benito, which means the good one.
Beautiful, no? Benito. Interesting. I've heard that before. It's interesting that it's a man's name too.
It's a normal name in Spain.
Yeah, I've heard that before. People saying that. So they're saying actually, that's good. That's okay. That's good. When somebody says Benito, they're saying good. I'm thinking of an Italian friend of mine that uses that.
So come on, let's start. Someone comes, we will just bring him in.
Yeah, it was funny. My children cannot make it. They said, "Oh, we'll go in September when he comes back." So I said, "Well, that's something." They're still interested because they do take yoga, and you're just going to get that close, and the other girl will come watch. Yeah, I just wondered if you ever get into meditation, how do you allot your time? Like to me, time is a great, I'm always in a rush.
So look, there are several ways to do that. There is one way, which is that we all have kind of a mind clock, and with practice you will know exactly when to get out of meditation.
You don't need a timer.
But then there are good timers. You don't want to put, kind of an alarm clock, something that will get you out of meditation in a violent way,
Right.
So there are many mindful apps, free timers of any description. So you put the timer, you put the phone in airplane mode,
Right.
so that it doesn't ring in the middle of the meditation or anything. And then you put a timer and you put, like a gong or something very soft, like when to say that we have finished the meditation, I do this Gayatri mantra singing, which is something very soft, that you might like. It could be the sound of a gong, or it could be, something very, very soft, that blends into your meditation somehow, but gives you the information that, look, 20 minutes have passed. And once you listen to that, you allow 1 minute or a minute and a half to get out of meditation. So you know that you are getting out of meditation, you start, kind of moving. You don't open your eyes immediately. You move a little bit, you do like this, and you open your eyes slowly, and you stand up slowly. So you give yourself a minute or a minute and a half to start your normal activity. So somehow when you meditate, you allow yourself to, in fact, do nothing. If you are being totally passive. You are just observing. So you are not acting, you are being. You are not doing, you are being. So what you want to be is in this totally passive for 20 minutes, you allow yourself to be 20 minutes totally passive, just observing that you are alive, that you are breathing, that you are here, and that all the molecules are working by themselves, that you don't have to push them personally.
Such a different way of being, it's such a different way.
So you just allow 20 minutes, then you get out of meditation and you start doing. And you will be doing, which is very important, the rest of the day. But you allow yourself, ideally 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, to sit down and do a meditation practice. Today we are going to learn another meditation practice, and we are going to practice it, and you are going to practice it from here to Tuesday, and on Tuesday I will check how it has gone, you know. So that's what we are going to do today, learn another meditation practice. The meditation practice that we are learning today is a mantra meditation practice. It's a meditation based on the use of a mantra. This is a typical meditation of all spiritual traditions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you a video of a Benedictine monk, so a Catholic monk, explaining this meditation from the Catholic perspective. I could put you a video of a Buddhist explaining it from the Buddhist perspective, or a Hindu explaining it from the Hindu perspective, because they all practice similar techniques. So I'm using a Catholic monk because, you know, we are of the Christian tradition, so that you understand that this is, you know, a standard practice. This is a Benedictine monk. The Benedictines is the more older contemplative tradition of the Catholic Church. They were started in the 4th century, and they inherited all the teachings of what they call the Fathers of the Desert, which is the tradition within Christianity that better preserved the techniques that Jesus himself taught. You know, the prayer techniques and contemplative techniques and meditation techniques that Jesus taught. That tradition was kept through a contemplative, you know, heritage that went from Jesus to the what they call the Fathers of the Desert, and from there, you know, the Benedictine tradition started that continues today, and this is a Benedictine monk from Massachusetts. In fact, he is the abbot of a monastery somewhere in Massachusetts. So he's old now, he's very old. In the video he was a little bit more young, but he's very old now. I will put you the video so that you can, you know, watch how he explains this technique. I will be interrupting the video to give you further explanations, and then we are going to practice the technique. Okay? So, let us start. Benito, como voy a interrumpir el vídeo, tú ahora pon el vídeo.
Ya está. And so,
y luego alterna, porque yo cuando pare el vídeo alterna con la cámara de allí para las explicaciones que vaya haciendo. Okay, so we start with the video, and I will be interrupting the video, adding further explanations.
And so, let's look at the guidelines then from that perspective. In this talk, we're emphasizing the method. And so you can easily get stuck on, well, I've got to do the method just right. But it's always a relationship, and that means, unlike certain other disciplines, if you don't do it correctly, it doesn't matter. It's a help if you do it correctly. But it doesn't matter because it's your intention that counts, and the relationship is with God. God sees that you're trying hard to do a nice job, the best you can, however much you're stumbling. He's not going to hold your mistakes against you. He's looking at your love, and through another person or a book, or eventually, or through the inspirations of the Holy Spirit, you'll correct whatever mistakes you're doing.
So, the idea here is a very important one, which is intention. The technique is important. If you do the technique right, it's better than if you don't do it right. But if the intention is right, even if you are doing the technique wrong, you know, eventually through a person or a book or the inspirations of the Holy Spirit, which is a matter of saying, once your intention is right, all the energies of life are going to help you. So the most important thing here is the intention. And the intention, what is the intention? Well, the intention, he's speaking from the Catholic point of view, the intention is putting yourself in the presence of the divine of Christ. But that is the intention that you do when you meditate. You put yourself in the presence of consciousness. Today they like to call it cosmic consciousness, no? Because people have got a little bit, you know, the word God kind of feels bad to many people, you know, because they imagine, you know, someone with beard and living 1,247 kilometers over your heads, and, you know, with a lot of people taking notes about what you do or you don't do. And obviously this is an infantile, childish, God is just a concept, which means that that there is something which is beyond you. Basically, what do you know about this universe of ours where we live? You know, if you are honest enough to yourself, you will have to say nothing. I know nothing, but I've been told as much as that. So, you know, it's a kind of putting yourself in the presence of that divine energy, of that consciousness, of your inner being. You can call it by any name, but it's the same thing, it's the same attitude, it's the same intention. It's an intention of being in the presence of what is. You know, when in the Bible Moses met with God in this, and who are you? He asked, I am what I am. You know, I am what is. You know, I am the essence of beingness. No, it's in every spiritual tradition. And you know the concept of God, you can have a childish concept of God, like a Superman God, or you can have the concept of God of Spinoza. I don't know if you've read philosophy, but the concept of God of Spinoza, which was this philosopher of the 1600, I believe so, 1700. Or you know, you can have the concept of God of the scientists, which is a formula, you know, which means the Big Bang, you know, and then E equals mc squared, you know. So it's like in that correlation of energies, from that correlation of energies, everything came about, including you, that are the consciousness of that correlation of energies, that is becoming aware of that correlation of energies. So it is still divine from that point of view, no? So you put yourself in front of the divine, that is the intention. So if you don't do it correctly at the beginning, it doesn't matter, because the intention is more important. If the intention is wrong, and you do that just for your immune system, it may not work as well. So we continue.
thing to do is to do it. The principal method of saying prayer really is to sit down. Now that isn't too hard for most people. Once you sit down, then the Spirit has sort of got you, especially if you're determined to sit there for the 20, 25 minutes that you have agreed upon. And if you do that every day, then your mistakes or misconceptions will gradually evaporate. Doing it is the primary discipline.
Which means, what you are learning here works if you do it. If you don't do it, it doesn't work. So the primary discipline is to sit down for 20 or 25 minutes every day and do it. And if you do it, it works. But if you don't do it, it doesn't work. So, and it happens a lot with spiritual teachings, that we know them, we understand them, we accept them as true, but we don't practice them. For example, don't do unto others what you would not like to be done unto you. We all know that. We all accept that. We all agree with that idea. But now tell me, how many times last week have you spoke something that was not good about some other person that was not there?
Maybe once.
Maybe once, okay. Most of people, you know, if they look at their memory, they will be able to tell you, well, quite a few times. Do you like that to be done unto you?
No.
No. So why you do it? So we know it, but we don't practice it. Any spiritual teaching that you practice, and you practice seriously, works, but works if you practice it. If you don't practice it, it's just, you know, like an anxiolytic for the mind, to make you feel good thinking about that, but it doesn't change anything. Spiritual teachings change things if practiced. And the meditation and mindfulness techniques that you're going to learn here, if you practice them, they really transform your life. But you have to practice. I mean, so it's in your hands. My master used to say, you know, I can give you the map, I can give you the compass, I can show you the way, but then you have to walk. You have to walk it yourself. I mean, nobody can walk it for you. You know, so here you receive kind of the map, the compass, the tools to get there, but then you have to do it yourself. So it is very important that you practice this.
But there's ways of doing it that can facilitate this sitting there. And so let's look at the guidelines. Now, the first guideline is choose a sacred word as the symbol of your intention to consent to God's presence and action within you. Notice, please, God's presence and action. So we're working with a dynamic relationship, a back and forth, an exchange, a conversation which has moved towards communion or is moving in that direction.
So, choose a sacred word, that's the mantra, that represents your consent to be in presence. So you kind of consent to be in presence, and to allow the action of the divine within you. Very important, the two things. What means allow the action of the divine within you? I don't know if I did put this example in the last class, but if I didn't do it, I will put it now. Did I put example of the Pascal box and the balls? No. Good. So Pascal, you know, this philosopher used to say, used to explain, you know, if you put in a box, say these 24 balls, you know, a big box with balls, different balls, and you agitate the box, and if you can make a picture of the box with all the balls at a given instant, and Pascal said, if you had the mind of Pascal, you would be able to tell where all those balls are going to be in the next moment. The mind of Pascal here meant, I know the speed of the ball, the spin of the ball, the direction of the movement of the ball, so I need every physical information about that ball to know exactly how it's going to move, how it's going to touch the other ball, what's going to be the reaction of the two balls. So I have all the information, I can predict where those balls are going to be in the next moment. You understand that? Mm-hmm. And the next moment, as I have the mind of Pascal, again, I can say where those balls are going to be in the next moment, and so on and so forth. I can predict where those balls are going to be in every moment. Right? Mm-hmm. Understood. So, you imagine any of you, remember me your name?
Jill.
Jill. Jill. Jill is like that box of balls. Instead of 20-something balls, trillions and trillions of balls. Molecules. Put the balls in whatever size you want. Molecules, atoms. But imagine you had, the mind of Pascal is not good enough for this. Imagine you had the mind of God. So you know everything you need to know about each of those molecules of those balls. The chemical characteristic, physical characteristic, everything you need to know how it's going to interact with this other molecule or that other model. You will be able to say where those molecules are going to be in the next instant. I make a picture, I can do, all those molecules will be here in the next instant. Right or wrong, Jill? Mm-hmm. And then in the next instant I have the mind of God again, and I know where they are going to be in the next instant, and so on and so forth. Right. So where is Jill doing something there? That's a good question.
Directing? No, no.
Who is Jill? Is Jill that God that knows and moves the molecules? You know, it's an open question, I am not answering it. So, putting yourself in the presence of that divine and letting him act within you is just, you know, say, look, I know nothing how all this works. So you act. You just let the molecules move by themselves. I'm just going to observe them. I'm just retiring myself, and I'm going to be the observer. Because really I'm not even sure if I am the doer, but at least I can observe how that operates within me. So you put yourself in the presence and you allow the action of those energies, call it the divine if you are a Catholic, or call it the energies that be if you are a scientist. But at the end is the same, you are just letting it be. Like the song, let it be. So, first step, you choose a sacred word, that's the mantra, and you use that as a symbol that you are in the presence of that energy and you allow that energy to act upon you. Continue.
The second step, a little guideline, is that sitting comfortably and with eyes closed, we settle briefly, like I'm settling in this nice chair, breathing easily and so on, and then after a few moments of not doing anything, just sort of settling, pausing, maybe 10 or 15 seconds of quiet, you introduce very gently, very casually, almost informally, the sacred word that you had chosen in the first guideline that symbolizes the consent of your will to God's presence and active within. They always go together.
So, how you do this technique? You use an object of hearing. You introduce the mantra. The mantra say, you use, we are going to use a mantra. I will tell you about the mantra we are going to use. We teach here a personal mantra, so everybody has its own mantra, which is just a sound. You don't want the mantra to mean anything in your mind, because you know, if the mantra would be apples, you know, you would end up thinking about apples. So you want to use, you know, either an archaic language. For example, Benedictine monks will use, you know, Aramaic, and they will use, you know, things like Maranatha, which was how they, you know, with Jesus they spoke in Aramaic. So Maranatha was like my Lord, and was how they addressed to Jesus or my Master. So they use Maranatha, or they use Abba, which means Father, or they use Abba Maranatha. So different cultures, different people use different symbols, but the essence is the same thing. You use something that doesn't mean the sound, you use a sound. I will explain after the technique, you know, a little bit more in depth what this sound technology is all about, but you use a sound, an articulated sound, which is the sounds typical of human beings, which is the articulated sounds with which we produce language and songs and you name it. So you use an articulated sound, and what you start is repeating it in your mind and putting your attention in how your voice sounds within your head when you repeat the mantra. For example, if you close your eyes now and you repeat, for example, the wall is white, okay, that has a meaning. But you close your eyes, repeat mentally, the wall is white, repeat it easily, you know, like a game, like if you were a child, and try to listen, how does your voice sound in your head when you are mentally repeating the wall is white. Do it now. You can play with the sound of your voice in your head. You can say it slowly, quickly. Okay, open your eyes now. Did you realize that you can listen, count the different tones, that you can say it in this tone, more quickly, more slowly? Did you see that?
I found it hard to hear anything other than the white, the tight.
No, but you know, it's you. This is very important. Learn to listen the sound of your voice when it speaks mentally. We all have a mental voice speaking all the time. I mean, it doesn't stop, really. And you can put your attention, you know, it's like when you have a song in your mind. You know, these songs that, you know, you might get a song in your mind and then it's there all the time. You are listening to that song, definitely. That's why you have it in your mind. So, it's like you just put your inner eye, your inner ear to listen to your voice when it speaks mentally. And you try, you can say, the wall is white, the wall is white, the wall is white, the wall is white. Try to change your voice and listen different tones of your voice repeating mentally the wall is white. Try it again. Okay, open your eyes. Now?
I can't hear it.
When
I
I
can
say
think
hear,
it.
it's not like hearing outside. You can,
I think it. I can
you
think
can, of course. All the time, you know. Yeah, you can listen to your voice inside your head.
Yeah.
You also.
So it's a thinking thing too.
It's a thinking thing. Yeah, you are thinking that and you are listening to the voice.
Okay.
Because you know, when you think, you can think with this voice, or you can think with this voice also. Because you know, depending on what you are thinking, the voice that is speaking in your mind changes of tone. So you just put your attention in listening to yourself repeating the mantra. The mind is constantly saying things, you know, speaking. So, as most of the things that the mind speaks are garbage, bullshit. So we just for 20 minutes put the mind to repeat the mantra. And we make the mantra a symbol that I am going to allow myself for these 20 minutes to be in the presence and let this energy, this divine energy, act within. And you just use the act that you are repeating this mantra mentally, you use that as a symbol that you are doing this act, which is just observe. You get into a completely passive position and you are just listening to your voice, inner voice, inside your head, in your thinking, the voice you are thinking, and that someone is perceiving that voice and is perceiving the wording, because when you are repeating the wall is white, someone is perceiving that your mind is repeating that. And that someone that is perceiving that your mind is repeating that because you are repeating a sound, because the wall is white is an articulated sound, you have to be able to listen to your thinking voice. Not like if you would listen it outside, like when you listen a car. Understood? No? Right. So we continue.
God is not a statue. He's not a static force within us. It's a loving relationship in faith. And hence God, Spirit, can do all kinds of things and suggests all kinds of things, and He does. The third guideline is, when engaged with feeling thoughts, you turn ever so gently to the sacred word.
Which means that you will be mentally repeating the mantra, listening to the sound of your voice within your head when it repeats the mantra, but your mind will be thinking other things at the same time. What you're going to do is just let go of all thoughts. You know, like when you do the Aim Cream Cream, which you are repeating it verbally, when this will be the same, you are thinking while you are saying Aim Cream Cream, your mind is thinking, but you just let the thoughts go because you go back to the repeating of the Aim Cream Cream. Well, here is the same but more subtle, because you are repeating the mantra and suddenly you find yourself doing the shopping in Walgreens and you realize that you have lost contact with your voice repeating the mantra. So you just let Walgreens go and you return ever so gently to introduce the mantra again, and again continue listening to the sound of your voice when it repeats the mantra. and the mantra is a symbol of this being in presence and letting this action happen within you. Right? Understood? You continue.
Well, this is just to say, or acknowledge the fact that there are going to be various thoughts, feelings, perceptions, noise in the room, people coughing, memories, imaginations, visualizations, sort of dreaming. All of this psychological material, you might say, is going to be flowing down the stream of consciousness as you sit there. And we say that it's inevitable, integral, and normal. So this is a terribly important point to get through our heads if we've been trained in the doctrine of distractions, that distractions somehow are harmful or interfere with your prayer. Now, if you're doing discursive meditation and you're supposed to be thinking about something particular, then other thoughts are distractions, do interrupt your reflection in your prayer. But the centering prayer moves beyond that level of awareness. And it's designed to disregard the ordinary thoughts or activities of our psychological day-to-day awareness. So you're not on the level that you're usually on in discursive meditation. And hence, you just disregard this thought or these thoughts, which are more like noise in the street or background music at the supermarket that you put up with but pay no attention. But it's important not to resist these thoughts. In other words, it's important to have a joyful attitude towards the thought, a friendly attitude towards the most dreadful thoughts. Not that you linger over them or act them out, but it's important that we expect them, and they're normal, and they're integral, and so we receive them all with a smile, sort of inward smile, so to speak. A jolly attitude is recommended. Here they go again, that sort of thing. Ha ha ha. Reason for that is that any emotional frustration or annoyance or distress or grief is not appropriate, because that is another kind of thought. Because it's emotionally charged, it's more of a hindrance to entering into interior silence, which is the proximate goal of this prayer, than any number of casual thoughts that go by. So as soon as you're annoyed, you have a second thought, which is much more disturbing than the first one. And so there really is great wisdom in taking for granted there's going to be lots of thoughts and endless thoughts, and that with practice you can disregard most of them.
So this is it. So basically, this part is basically what you do with thoughts. You ignore them. You are just there observing them. If they catch you, you don't get annoyed. You just let them go and go back to, ever so gently, to the repeating of the mantra that we are going to use. Okay? Right. Now, I'm going to use the blackboard.
Does this have meaning, these words?
Eh?
Does this mean something
No, this
in English, no?
no, it means nothing. If you would look in Google, you will get many interpretation of what this means. But it will always be interpretations. In fact, this is what I'm going to explain you now.
And what language is it? Is it
No, it's not a language.
It's just
No, it's Bija Mantra, so it's not Sanskrit, it's not a language, so it means nothing. But they are symbols. It's like in Indian in Indian mythology, for example, in Indian cosmology, it's based on vibrations, you know. So the first vibration was Om. And then, for example, many prayers that start with Om Bhurbhuva, people would say, if they translate that, they would translate Om like, oh God, no? But Om is not the word God. The word God is Brahman in Sanskrit. So Om is what they call Bija mantras, which is just vibrations. And each vibration represents an energy of this universe. Om was the first vibration, which is interesting to, you know Carl Sagan?
I think so.
Carl Sagan was this, he was a physicist in Princeton University. He died 3-4 years ago, and he did this famous TV series called Cosmos, that he made a lot of, you know, scientific divulgative things. I will put you a video about this guy because he's very interesting. Anyhow, in one of these programs, he explains he was, you know, a scientist and, you know, very, very agnostic. But in this program about civilizations, he said that it was really incredible how these Eastern people in their cosmology, they had descriptions 3,000 years ago that are so similar to the physical descriptions that they do today, no? For example, the Hindu calendar that they use today and that they celebrate the Diwali. Are you cold?
It's a feat. It's a feat.
And you can always put these on here.
Aww.
You also
I'm okay,
need
yes.
You
I
have
have
a
a
big
sweater,
sweater.
yes.
That's what you could.
Oh,
okay.
very nice.
Oh, okay.
It's so
Oh.
caring.
Yes.
So, for example, in the Hindu calendar, according to their calendar, we are in the year, this is more or less approximate, times, so we are in this year, since the beginning of the cycle of this universe, of this age, you know. According to scientists, is 13.7 since the Big Bang, plus minus 5%. That's the scientific calculation, which is in the range, in the range of the Hindu calendar, you know. And this Carl Sagan said, where did they get this number for? I mean, how did they got to this number? This was by chance, or is it difficult to think it was by chance? But for example, you know the theory of the Big Bang, you've heard the theory of the Big Bang, right? Now the accepted theory of the Big Bang is the what they call the inflationist theory, which is that, you know, the Big Bang basically says that all energy, all matter, all space and all time were condensed in one Planck, which is 10 to the minus 24 centimeters, which is smaller than the universe is big, but to the scale, you know, like adding zeros after a comma, you know, smaller than the universe is big, but in small. And then it exploded, but the universe is uniform. So in order to have stars and galaxies and thus planets and all these things, there had to be irregularities. Because if it had exploded without irregularities, well, imagine the universe could very well be atoms of hydrogen in balanced, you know. So what happened is that at the very beginning, in the very first milliseconds of this Big Bang, there was a vibration. The space-time trembled and created these gravitational waves. The last Nobel Prize has been given to these scientists that have found these gravitational waves that were predicted and measured them, and really measured the gravitational waves that were produced in the Big Bang. And as they are a wave, a vibration, you put them in, you know, and if you look at the paper where it has been published, the vibration of these gravitational waves was something like that. This vibration, what made is that some hydrogen atoms got more together than others, and then through the gravitational laws they started to clump into stars, and the stars then exploded and created the planets. So you needed this disruption so that we could have something. And they measured it, and this is an ohm. This, if you say Om, and you take the voice in one of these things, that you will get something very similar to this. So, which is something that opens and closes, which is Om. So, you know, it comes from Hindu cosmology, from Eastern cosmology, which is a poetical description of what physicians today describe with mathematics. But the description is very similar, and Carl Sagan made an emphasis on this because it's really very similar. Where did they got it? We don't know, but so Aim Krim Krim Om was the first vibration, and then that vibration created like 22 different vibrations, 22 masculine vibrations, 22 feminine vibrations. And then the blending of all these vibrations, which are energies of the universe, creates all forms. That is the Hindu cosmology. It's the same thing like saying with 22 letters you can write all books written and all books to be written. It's just a matter of combining the letters. Well, this is like the 22 components, the 22 energies that combine create all forms. Is the same concept explained in a different, you pick what I'm saying, no? So those are Bija mantras. So Aim is a Bija mantra and represent, Aim Krim Krim represent the feminine energies of this universe. Krim is represented by Kali, the goddess Kali. So then if you go to Google, they will say, oh, like Krim is the sound of Kali, so that means Kali. So then they might translate Aim Krim Krim like Durga, Sarvati and Kali, and then Cha is this other thing, and then they will create something. But it's not they are not words in a language. They are what it's called Bija mantras. It's part of the mantra theory of the Hindus, which they use mantras as they use it in Eastern, but the Eastern people, what they have is more authors. They've put more mind into, you know, subconscious mind is described in Hindu literature that goes as back as 3,000 years ago. Subconscious mind is described in Western literature since 150 years ago with Freud. So, you know, they have a few years more than us in thinking about the mind and the subconscious mind. And, you know, Buddhism is today very attractive because Buddhism is more or less a psychology treaty. You know, it really is a very in-depth study of human mind and human psychology. And so they Eastern world have, as we know more of physics and computers and they are learning from us, they know more than us traditionally of the mind and psychology and the soul and all these things, and we are learning from them. So it's an interchange.
That's the first time I've heard Eastern learning from us. You know? That's the first time I've heard that concept, that they learn from us. It's like, wow, you know, we're such,
well, the Eastern
we're
people
babies.
have learned from us physics, and they put rockets, but you know, and they put satellites, but that comes from Western world. They've learned about computers, and you have software engineers. All India is full of software engineers that work for Silicon Valley. So they've learned from us what we have developed, and we are learning from them. All psychology professors study today Buddhism and things like that, because, you know, they have much more authors, much more people that have thought about these things and thus produced good material throughout the centuries than we have in that area. We have produced much more in the area of the objective world. They have produced much more in the area of the subjective world. So they have been more concerned with the subjective world, and we have been more concerned with the objective world. Both things are good, and you know, you have to take the good of both worlds, they say, something like that. You know, you have to take the good of both worlds. So, here in this organization we teach the personal mantra that after we do this technique, I will explain you what it is. Now we are going to use a preparatory mantra. Preparatory, as its own name says, is just for you to learn how to use a mantra. But it's good enough. It's a word that it's not in your language, it's in Sanskrit. And the mantra we are going to use is this one. It's in one word. Guru Rajananda. Guru Rajananda. It means Ananda. To give you the meaning is not important. The important is repeating the sound and listening to the sound of your voice. But the meaning, just for you to know what the meaning is, Ananda is bliss, means bliss. Bliss is what you perceive when you have unconditional love. So Ananda means bliss or unconditional love. Raj means king, like the Raja of Kapurthala, you know, the Raj, the king. Ru and Gu means light and darkness. So this means the bliss of unconditional love is the king that leads me from darkness to light. So that is what you are saying in Sanskrit, which is just, you know, we use a sacred word in the sense, well, we want to give it, you know, it's going to be a symbol that we are in presence of what? Of that bliss that comes out of unconditional love, which is the king, which is that leads me from darkness to light. So Guru Rajananda is what we are going to use as the preparatory mantra. Okay? Now, what we are going to do to practice this is we are going to do the chant, but today we are going to do 3 rounds. Okay? So we are going to do 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds. Like Tuesday, but 3 rounds. And when we finish, we will be in silence. I will not be using the gong this time. I will repeat, only me, I will repeat the mantra a few times. I will start repeating it in a loud voice, and then little by little in more softly till you stop listening me, and then you just continue repeating mentally the mantra, right?
you know the chant? Is that the one you're doing?
You know the chant, the Emrim Krim? Yeah, you did it,
I
yeah.
did it,
Yeah, she was here on Tuesday in the evening.
Oh, God. I don't think it's your first time. Okay.
You remember the Emrim? No, leave this here so that you can... Sí, déjala de ahí. Leave this here just in case you forget about the mantra, you just open your eyes and you read you read and then you know, if it may happen that you forget the mantra. If that happens, you just open the eyes and read it and continue doing the mantra, right? Are you okay?
Yeah.
With respect of warmth and everything? I'm going to put it because I did put it very high.
After he's done saying that, then we continue ourselves out loud? Or?
Sorry?
I think to ourselves.
To ourselves? When
When
you're
you're not-
finished saying that, we say to
No,
ourselves? or
to yourselves, yeah. You don't repeat it in a loud voice. You just say to yourself, you just use that as it was explained in the video, as I explained you. You just use it to be listening to your voice. The act of listening to your voice, repeating the mantra, you use it as a symbol that you are here doing nothing, just in presence of the divine and letting him act in you. You just do that, you just allow yourself. We will be 20 minutes in silence only, so you allow those 20 minutes to be there. That's it, letting everything go. If you get caught by any thought, well, when you realize that you have lost contact with the mantra because you are not listening it or repeating it, you just very gently return back to the mantra, like it was explained in the... right?
Yep.
Okay, with respect to the chant, you just follow me. Shem Krim Chamdai Vicheche Aim 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 Shrim Krim Chamundaya Vichechen. 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 Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaya Vichechen. Aim Shrim 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 Krim Chamundaye Bicheche. 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 Aim Hrim Krim Chamundaye Bicheche. Shrim Krim Chamandaye Vicheche. Aim 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 Him Krim Chamandaye repeating the mantra. When you stop listening to me, you just continue thinking your mantra, mentally repeating your mantra, putting your attention in the sound of your voice inside your head when it repeats the mantra. Gururajananda, 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 Gururajananda. Guru Rachananda, Guru Rachananda, Guru Rachananda, Guru Rachananda. Very slowly, and giving yourself around a minute or a minute and a half. Slowly get out of this meditation. Nice,
Nice.
nice.
Almost felt like I was going to fall over. And I also saw white coming. Is that part of it?
Right, yeah, well, that's part of it. You know, the physiology changes. When you start meditating, you will perceive changes, like you can be, for example, you might feel sleepy for the first 2-3 weeks because, you know, the hormones change, melatonin is secreted, you know, all these things are studied by neurobiology. So these changes are perceived, and you perceive things like, you will perceive many different things throughout the days as you practice, till you establish in meditation. It takes 8 weeks to get established, so it's not a long, you know, a long process. It's really just a matter of dedication during 8 weeks. Now this technique, you are going to practice it this week, and you are going to do it in the following way: lying down, which will be easier. Choose any time of the day to practice it. Could be, you know, at the end of the day, or you could decide to do it at the beginning of the day, or you could decide at one moment that you have those 20-30 minutes that you can dedicate yourself to yourself, that you have no telephone to take care, no obligations, that you can be comfortable in a place. Ideally not in your bed. If you have a guest room, in the guest room. If you have a good mat for the floor, in the floor. You have to be comfortable. You will be doing it lying down. I will show you. I will lie down here and I will show you.
The bed is too comfortable? The bed is too comfortable, you will fall asleep?
If you fall asleep, doesn't matter. You might fall asleep the first meditations, but one of the things that meditation does is regulate your sleep, so you will start sleeping deeply and well, and then you will not fall asleep while meditating. Although at the beginning you can fall asleep, but again, doesn't matter. You will have a good rest if you fall asleep meditating. So you put yourself like this, what in yoga is called savasana, palm of the hands upwards, hands a little bit separated from the body, legs a little bit separated. So you breathe in and you know, put them in tension while you keep your breathing, and you are like this and you let fall. Let your breath go out and you wait till the breath is by its own, goes back to its natural rhythm, and again you do this again, and like this you do it between 3 and 6 times. You know, if you are doing it at the end of the day and you had a terrible day, 6 times. If you are doing it at the morning and you are, you know, still not in stress, 3 times is enough. You know, you decide if you want more or less. Between 3 minimum and up to 6, 7, even 8 if you need that. So it's a way to create a relaxation of the body to begin with. So then you do that exercise, and then once you finish the last tension, you just put your attention on your breathing. You feel your breathing coming in and out from your nostrils, or you can feel it in your chest, or you simply become aware of your breathing. And once you are there, like in this video, 10-15 seconds, aware of your breathing, you introduce the repetition of the mantra, Guru Rajananda. You can write it down in a piece of paper so that you don't forget. And you use it as we have used it today, as it is described in the video. And today, now I'm going to put you the invitation. So I will put you this video also so that you have it with you, and I will put the recording of this also. So that I will do it now, so you will have that. Practice this until next Tuesday. On Tuesday when you arrive, I will check how it has gone, and we will learn yet another practice, and thus we are going to learn different practices and how to apply them during the day in different situations. We are going to learn the practice, practice it, check it, and then learn another practice, practice it, check it, and then by the time we finish you will have kind of a recipe, you know, to when to use what, how to deal with thoughts, what I explained you the first day, you know. So this is one of the techniques that you are going to learn, and you've learned it today. You have Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday to practice it. On Tuesday we will start the class checking how it has gone those days. Okay?
So 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Between 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Okay? Better 10 minutes than nothing. So if one day you know you don't have time and you only have 10 minutes, well, 10 minutes. I mean, it's better something than nothing. You know, it's the typical thing, oh, I don't have the 20 minutes, so I will not do it. Which is like saying, oh, I just ate a cookie and I broke my diet, so let me eat the box. No, once I broke the diet, I can eat the box.
That makes perfect sense.
So,
once
you know,
a day, once a day?
Once a day, yeah.
Okay.
Once a day. Just once a day to begin with. We will start adding more techniques. At the end you will have 2 techniques a day, but little by little.
Okay.
For the moment, this technique. As we have time, well, in fact, I'm going to show you a second technique. Because we have time and this one is easy and quick. So this is a concentration technique. You know of the examples that I gave you of concentration techniques.
I would think first thing in the morning when it's peaceful, nobody's calling you or
Yeah,
bothering
that's
you.
a perfect time to do it. In fact, the practice I'm going to teach you now is called Good Morning Day. And it's based on the following. It's an open presence practice. So it's based on the following simple concept. Memories projected in the screen of your mind and a day in front of you. Well, the Good Morning Day practice is based on the following simple thing. That from the moment you wake up, and you are in the bed, you're still in bed, and you wake up, and you start to become conscious of your memories, and you start projecting in the screen of your mind all that reality that only you know, because I project another reality, and so on and so forth. From that very moment, you, instead of doing what we normally do, which is give importance to that reality, from that very moment, consciously doing the conscious effort of saying to yourself, well, this reality is a reality, but my actuality is the day I have to live. So good morning day. And you can, you know, think about 3 things at that very moment, 3 things that you are grateful for having that day. I'm grateful for having hot water, that I can have a shower, for example. I am grateful for the light coming through the window. I am grateful for, you know, you can think about, I'm giving examples. You know, everybody can do it its own way. It's a matter of, from the moment you wake up to the moment you start your day, you know, from the moment you are in bed and waking up till you are, you know, dressed, shaved, and ready to start your day, instead of putting the emphasis in the reality your mind is projecting, do the conscious effort to put the emphasis in the day you have to live, and greeting the day you have to live. That's why we call it Good Morning Day. Looking at everything around you that you can perceive beauty. I mean, and if you look, if you are too busy with your projection, probably you will not be able even to look. But if you look around you, you know the whiteness of the snow, or the light, or this, or this child running in the street, or, you know, so many beautiful things around us, you know, or you just do the conscious effort to put your attention in the beautiful things, to greet the day, to remind yourself of everything you are grateful for, and somehow you are present, you know, when you brush your teeth, not wanting to have your teeth brushed, but just brushing your teeth and enjoying the act of brushing your teeth. And when you shower, the same, feeling the water and saying thank you to God. You know, we all say, I don't know if you say thank you to God, I say thank you to God all the time. Different people do it different ways. You don't even need to believe in God to say thank you to life, you know. It's a matter of being thankful, of being grateful, of being, and to greet the day, and to put the attention in what is important, which is you will be able to do something for your life or for the life of your loved ones during that day. That's the only chance you have, because yesterday it's already done, and tomorrow will be another day. So it's only today. So don't try to sort out the whole thing. Sort out the day. Find the balance in the day. Give yourself the best of you in that day. And you wake up like that, and then you do this meditation. I tell you, your day will be different. You will tell me on Tuesday.
I wonder about waking up in the middle of the night, wide awake.
Well, if you wake up in the middle of the night, you can start repeating the mantra and sleep doing the mantra. And
maybe it'll help you to go
it
back.
will help you a lot.
To go back. Okay.
So questions, because we still have 10 minutes. No questions? Okay, so namaste. I invite you for a coffee or a tea if you want now. We can chat, you know, informally. So namaste. And
the chant we don't have to do.
no,
It's just
the
mantra.
chant. The chant we do it here. We do it here because, you know, doing 3 rounds means that we have been 15 minutes breathing together at the same time. It creates the energy. It creates the feeling. The chant, you can use it. Those days that you don't, you know, how do you say you don't, how do you say this word in English? Sorry, I don't get the word in English. When, you know, when you feel very, how do you say this? How do you say when, you know, imagine there is this naughty boy and is, you know, being naughty all the time, and you don't what? You don't support him. You don't, how do you say, you want him out of your way. How do you say that word in English? No te aguantas a ti mismo. In Spanish we would say no te aguantas a ti mismo, which is that, you know, like imagine you have this friend, and this friend is all the time telling you, oh, because I'm so bad. Negative. And you say, no le aguanto. I don't aguanto this guy. It's like,
You want to ignore
too
him
heavy
or
for me.
avoid him?
The naysayers, it's hard to get
yeah,
that.
it's too heavy for me. Well, when you are too heavy for yourself, because you are in that attitude with yourself, you know, you have I don't know, a panic attack, or you feel so anxious that, or overwhelmed for, you are so angry with something that you are overwhelmed. The typical day that you are so overwhelmed that you will jump to anxiolytics or the bottle of scotch, or you name it, something to get you out of, you know, some sort of addiction that you use to take this situation out, the chant works very well. Instead of going to the bottle of whiskey or the anxiolytics or that, you sit in a chair, you buy one of these, it's 108 counts, and you just start doing rounds. You stop between round and round like a minute, and once you feel that after 3 rounds normally your mind will quieten a lot, but if you need 5 rounds, and you need more, and once you feel okay, you start doing your mantra like today, and it's much more effective than an anxiolytic and has no how do you say, contradictions, no side effects.
Bad effects, yeah.
Has no side effects.
So on the chanting, when you breathe, are you breathing to get us to be with you? Like, it sounds like you're doing.
Yeah, I do it so that you can listen to me, so that we all do it in one breath, and we want to be, you know, like in rhythm. You know, it's like a rhythmic thing.
So it doesn't matter how we take the breath, like through our
No,
nose,
it doesn't
through our
matter.
mouth,
You can take it
whatever.
through your mouth or through your nose. I do it on purpose so that you can follow me.
Yeah.
But when you're doing it yourself, it's better to just do the guru.
Well, you know, you don't need to do the chant. Is either to meditate in group, or when you really are in such a mood that you would not even be able to sit down and meditate
Focus,
just
yes.
with the mantra, because you are not able to focus. You are in a panic attack, you know, or in an anxious. You are so anxious because of something, and you know, give me the pills. Where are the pills? You know, in those situations, what works very well is doing the chant a few rounds, so the mind gets quietened first, and once the mind is quietened, then you do your meditation with your mantra. But normally, normal day with the tension and lying down, it will go very, you will be able to do it very nicely. We will check it out in any case next Tuesday.
Okay,
Very good.
good.
I have to write that all down.
So, you are welcome for a coffee or a tea.
Oh, thank you. What is the time? I don't know. What time do you have?
5 to 12.
I think I'm going to run along. So I have a mad dash as always. Now that I'm so relaxed. So it's yeah. Lie on floor.
Well, you will see that they will tell you when you go to someone that knows you, they will tell you, "Oh, you look so relaxed
I
today."
said about you. I said he's glowing. There's something you were glowing.
Well, you now are looking as relaxed,
I
and you
am,
will
yeah,
see
I-
that they tell you.
Yeah.
People will notice
See,
that. Say,
notice.
"You look so relaxed," because these techniques work, you know.
Nice, very nice. Retention. I think setting an alarm on your cell phone is for my mind, is going to set my mind at ease. You
And
know,
there are apps, and you can set like
20 minutes, 30
well,
minutes.
and it's a gentle thing. It's like
Yeah,
a gong,
Yes,
it's a gong, yeah.
or
You
something.
You just look for mindfulness app. There are many free apps that all of them will have a timer
Oh,
with
nice.
a gong or with an om or some description.
Yeah, you can set usually set